Okay, good evening and welcome to our first leadership meeting where we are starting a year with lots of planning and anticipating and excitement and challenges, of course. So today is January 16, 2025, and right now it's 8:06. So we're going to start the meeting where all the executive members, leadership, and board members and advisors are supposed to attend. But thanks you guys for arriving very, very quickly. So we don't want to waste that much. And as our promise from last meeting, we said we're going to try to keep this meeting less than an hour. I mean, unless there's some excitement, discussion or whatever, but we're going to try to keep it as short as we can, and then we use the groups to communicate regularly so we don't have to spend too much time during the meeting. And it's our hope that when you, if you are not or you are unable to make it to the meeting, you'll be able to review the video and provide your feedback, because we do need everybody's feedback so we can continue moving forward. So we, as a Qhsc 2025, first of all, is happy 5th anniversary to everybody, and it's gonna be a lot of work, a lot of excitement, and a lot of groups have started. So I'm gonna give you a little brief there, and we can get to know what is happening, what is coming up, and you guys as leaders, you should be able to know what exactly is happening, and you can provide your feedback and guidance as needed as we continue. So, of course, today, as a new year, I'm so excited to welcome new members, new faces to our leadership team, and I am gonna try to let everybody probably have 10 and 15 seconds to say hi and Happy New Year to everybody else, and then we can start. I'm gonna start. Happy New Year. Everybody else, you guys can say hi. You can speak.
Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome. Good to see you.
Happy New Year, everyone, and hello.
Hello.
Miss Rakia Brown. That's because I don't know you and I haven't met you. But hey, Miss Bree. Hey, Dr. Bonnie. Hey, Dr. Paul. Hey, Steve.
Okay, so we are definitely blessed for all this excitement. So at 5 minutes after the meeting starts, I'm meeting the leadership, which we just did, and then in 10 minutes after, we're gonna go overview the projects. 15 minutes after introducing the website, and 20 minutes after talk a little bit about the fundraising, and then 25 minutes after, we're gonna cover a little bit or give you update with the gala, and then usually after 30 minutes, and then we can discuss and try to share our insight, plans, and questions that you guys have, so we can be on the same page as leaders. So we know board members, all the leadership team, they're very dedicated, motivated. Oops, my little thing is hiding here. Okay, selfless, blessed, and paying forward. So the reason we're all here is because we are all these 5 things. So I'm hoping that we can continue doing this for the rest of the year. And then, of course, meet our leadership teams. As I said, we already met Ms. Lukia Brown here, who is the newest member for this year. And I know Ms. Annie Schneider could have been here, but has other arrangements. So those are the new faces. So for the executive team, you can see they see the same from last year. We're continuing the same thing. And then, of course, Bree has been there for 3 years, medical missions, and mi esposo has been there 4 years. The medical missions has been for the last 4 years. And then Ms. Catherine has been there for 1 year of the medical mission, so which was great. And then now we have the board members. Valentine's has moved to this team group when she's been to Tanzania at least 1 medical mission. Mrs. Victoria Jones has been to Tanzania for 2 medical missions. Dr. Gwen Randall has been there for 2 medical missions also, and board members for 2.5 years now. And then Mrs. Anish Schneider Zoman, she has been initial board member and advisor, and then she took a little bit break, and then she came back again, back to a board member. So we're looking forward to work with her. And our newest member in our board members also Ms. Rukia Brown. So thank you very much for willing to share your expertise, time, and support for QHSC. So we all welcome you and thank you for the time. And our advisors, Dr. Msambi Chaka has been to medical mission, 2 of them. Mr. Steve Jones has been with us for the last 4 medical missions, and he's our prayer warriors, and everybody knows him with that title. And then Mr. George Gabon has been an advisor. Mrs. Irene Gabon has been an advisor also for QHSC, and Mrs. Qhsc Mokalinga also has been an advisor for QHSC. For the sister organization in Tanzania, the NGO, QHSC NGO in Tanzania, we have our board member, Dr. Dina Komakoma, and we have Ms. Jessica Mkonyi as secretary, and Dr. Oscar Gabone as board member, and then of course Mr. Mashangalba as an advisor. So that's the part of the leadership team. So welcome everybody, and thank you for your time and stuff. So groups. So we do have a lot of groups. So I'm going to go a little bit quickly so we can just give a highlight. So we already discussed the number of groups, and then you guys should know them. And then so, of course, the group for the WhatsApp group, the first one was the QHSC group, which is friends and members in there. We have the group for the gala, nutrition and hydrations, ICU and theater, which is like anesthesia group also. We have vision group. We have CPR and emergencies. We have prevention of postpartum hemorrhage. We have sports stingers, QHSC stingers. We have the group that called sanitary pads, or reusable sanitary pads to be exact, school supplies and thermal regulation, and newborn help baby breathe newborn group. And the last one is the shoes, which thank you. This group is working very hard behind the scene, and we're going to be keeping posting update in our leadership group so to know where they're going. And then so in general, all of these groups that we have few people already joined. I think the minimum number is 1. But the maximum number, or the number like now, the highest number we have is 8 people in the group. So we're still recruiting. So if you know anybody who can fit on any of those groups, please let us know. We still invite new members on those groups to help us spread the word and do fundraising for those areas so we can get things going. So some of the group have started working on their groups already, start designing a little poster here and there, creating little videos and stuff like that. So thank you for those people who have started doing that part. And then so for the all the communication through the website, we're going to use the WordPress website, and we're going to share the group with everybody in all the groups, and so that we know where to refer the people that they're working with. And then, of course, usually if you go to the homepage for that website right now, you will see the CPR picture there and a lot of information. You can have the menu. So we will create a little video, probably 4 or 5 minutes of explaining how to walk through, and then we're going to share through the groups. And then, of course, on the website, that homepage, you will see under About. So that's the part which you will see all the leadership group in there. So if somebody is asking who is the leadership, so who are leaders in the organization, you can send them to that page, and then they will see all those faces I just showed up. You can see the little descriptive explanation for each individual, people who wrote a little bit about themselves, why did they volunteer or why they choose to volunteer. So people can read that part. And then, of course, the membership one is, so we encourage everybody else for the leaders, and thank you for people who have already paid. And I know some people are still planning to pay, which is great. So if you click on it, it does show you if you are one of the leaders or board members, This amount is 150, and then general members is 75, and then students were $50. So everything is already set up through Zephy, and the links will be shared, or I did share, I think probably a couple of weeks, but we're going to start sharing a bit more so everybody knows what it is. And there's a lot more information about the gift shop and contact us information. So we are going to, as soon as we post the website, I'm going to encourage you, all the board members, all the leaders, to be able to click on that website, get familiar with it. If you have any questions, let Dr. Siakabe know what things could be added or what things could be clear. So when you're advising people to come and visit the website, then becomes a little bit easier for them to access all the fundraising, all the activities. So it is one of your responsibility to be able to take on that, but get familiar with it so then you can share with everybody else. And then so all the fundraising that we are going to do, they're going to be through our platform is called Zephy. So Zephy is, we'll be sharing links, different groups. You see those project groups, all those groups, we have their own link to raise money according to their projects. And then Zephys help us to organize what exactly needs to be done for each group. So if somebody did the fundraising for the floor, and let's say they get $50,000, we're not going to take that $50,000 for the floor to do for something else. No, it was intended for the floor, and that's why we are going to use on that group. So people should be aware that when they donate those on those specific group, the money stays on that group. There isn't, it's going to be one of the link that has fundraising for the whole organization. So those are the ones that if that's the case, then that's the part usually we distribute. Either 10% goes here, 10% goes. But that discussion, we're going to bring it back to the leadership of group. Then we discuss how much percentages do we need to go where. But the fundraise that has done in each group, the amount of money we stay in each group. Usually that way, everybody's encouraged to raise money or as much as they can for their project to make sure that it can be sustainable. And then, of course, there are a few of us who are just raising the money for general for the whole organization. So if you want to be part of it and be aggressive in that area, please come and join us. So the more, the merrier. So, and as I said, once we started sharing these links, please try to click on it and try to either donate through there just to see how it goes. And then if people are asking you, then you can let them know. So this was just an example. That's why we do the membership. You see when you click on that link, it's going to tell you board members, they might select, and then you put your information. And then at the end, they give you the receipt immediately. So the tax deductible form is going to be given immediately. As soon as you finish paying the amount, it tells you and give you the receipt through the email. So you can have a way of saving that so you don't lose that receipt. Because sometimes, I used to send like a screenshot of what the receipt I have. And sometimes people are like, oh, I misplaced that. But now, thanks to Zephy, immediately when you donate or buy something or pay for something, it's going to be immediate. You get the 100% tax deductible receipt, so which you can use for the tax exempt stuff.
Well, can I just add something real quick?
Go, sure.
Oh, thank you. So I was going to say that if you notice too, maybe Rukia, since we have Irene entering here, Rukia, so this is her first time attending the leadership meeting, but if you notice, we are presenting more of a different image now. So it's not just, because before everything was like always the mission Tanzania, pictures from Tanzania, this, and we want people to know that this is a place where they can come, they can give us their professional expertise. It's a place where people can come and learn and experience different things and help us to prepare for the medical mission, as well as the other programs and projects that we do even here in the United States. So like this picture here, if you look at it, that's actually a meeting that was like one of the first gala meetings, but we're recruiting people to come and become a part of our organization and help in whichever way that they can. Everybody may not be able to go to the medical mission, or maybe they can only go once, or whatever the case is, but we want them to know that there's a lot of different ways in which they can help. And then with Zephy, it's going to be really easy because we're going to start going to people and we're going to just say, look, you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is just send the money and that's it. So that's what Zephy is. It's a good fundraising platform. And my heart is full.
Okay, thank you. And I said some of you guys have sent the payment through the Zephy. So if you can share your feedback from there, if you're willing to do that, that's fine. If not, that's okay. Yeah, so we want to make sure that people are comfortable when you go in there. So, and thank God that now 100% goes to the donation that you did. So if you do the contribution for as a membership, 150 goes straight to the organization. Before, when we use like PayPal, 2.6% has to be gone to like fees. And then so instead of the organization get 150, the organization will get 130 something dollars. So because the other money is gone. So now we came about with this platform, which is 100% goes to the organization. They do ask you to say, give the tip or something like that. Is that's your choice. You can say zero and then you want to pay whatever the amount you're paying, or you can give them kind of like a donation with them. Yes.
I was gonna say, so with that, that industry for non-for-profits, the companies that help to process their transactions, they make over $2 billion a year. So this is all $2 billion a year on organizations that are non-for-profits and are just helping to help other people. And then if you look like Dr. Gaboni was just saying on the bottom, it says add a donation. So if you don't you won't get forced to make a payment, but they do ask you if you want to add a donation. So you can, like, let's say you sign up for membership, they're not going to charge us or charge you $1.50 or $2. But if you want to give a donation, then you would add it at the bottom. I give the donation because I've watched my wife work on it and I've seen all of the different things. I don't know if she's going to show it here today, but now when you go to the website, you just click on membership and it takes you to this page and then you make your payment and it's usually in the bank pretty quickly. So when you see all of the things that this platform is able to do, sometimes for me it's like I'm grateful that we have something like this. So if I'm doing something, I just put the $20 in there, or even $10 or $5. It doesn't matter. I'll give them something, and that's how Zephy survives, is just on donations from people. But other than that, everything is free. And if you don't want to give a donation, you don't have to.
Okay. Anybody else has a question? Okay.
I apologize. I just took it off mute. So you will be able to access Zephy tonight after the meeting?
Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, the link is live already. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can send the link.
The only thing that we're not even having a problem with, we've been working on the website. I don't know if you're going to show them more of it, but we've been working on the website. It's basically done, but you saw George Gaboni as one of the as one of the advisors or board members. Of course, that's my brother, Dr. Gaboni's brother-in-law. But we want to do a beta, or we want to run it, because since we're collecting money and he works in IT and engineering and all that stuff, so we want to do a beta. Some of us will participate in it, and we want to run it. We want to make sure that it's safe, because I'm the one that basically has done the website. Bree, I think, contributed something here or there, and Dr. Gaboni did too. But we want to make sure that we didn't leave anything open. Like, you've heard about them say, oh, they left the back door open. Microsoft has it. We want to make sure that there's nothing, a simple mistake that we've made, that when you click on something, it just takes you someplace where you're not supposed to be. So since he's an expert in that area, we're going to ask him to kind of, without the password or log on at first, toy around with it and check for vulnerabilities. And then afterwards, if he wants to go in there and contribute or fix anything or tighten anything up like that, then he can do that as well. So, but that should be within another week or two. What do you think, Dr. G?
I mean, the sooner the better. No, because yeah, we need to get things done, but yeah, so the sooner the better. That's fine.
This is Rakia. Hi, everybody. I just found my mic. I couldn't find it before.
Oh,
Okay.
I felt like I was being rude when Victoria spoke to me, and I couldn't find my mic, so I apologize. But I just wanted to say that I had no problems when I paid the membership. It went through and asked for the the donation and all that. It was seamless, so it was working fine. I just wanted to add that.
No, thank you very much. Yeah, the same thing when I was paying my membership. Yeah, it's just very intuitive. I'm like you click here, you find, and then it find as soon as you finish, as I said, you get the receipt right then and there, and it's a very smooth. I mean, I've worked with like GoFundMe, PayPal. All those payment and stuff. Remember, once you finish those payment, then they always take a little bit PC here and there, and then I have to manually write the receipt for you to be able to get that EIN number, and then so you can claim for the end of the year. But this one is, I mean, that information is already pre-filled, so automatically you get that the receipt. So you collect those numbers, whatever the amount you're donating, and then at the end of the year, you have something to file for your taxes. So is everything else, I mean, I'm sure by the time they got to this point, they've done a lot of research behind it to make sure it works. And their support is tremendous. Remember, we don't pay a penny to them. So like if every time I create the stuff, they ask and they say, okay, do you need this? Okay, use this way. Asking people doing that one. So it's very, very helpful. And I mean, so much better compared to previous years. I mean, I wish I knew this program or platform 5 years ago when we started. Because I've been like, yeah, usually Brie laughs at me when I have 5 Excels opens and I'm trying to put like 2% here. She's like, what is that for? I'm like, yes, but this one, I don't have to do that at all. They do everything. They do analysis. They tell me, okay, if you do this, 120% is going to increase. I'm like, I mean, it's amazing. So, but I said, all those is for free. So it's something that we are studying for this year, and I'm hoping that it will help us as much as they promise, and then that will help our transaction to be a little bit easier, and people who are donating, we have to, because sometimes people do worry about, okay, if I put my credit card information, what am I going to do? But I mean, I believe in Zephy with their history that they've done that much, because when we're reviewing their feedback from the customers, they didn't have that many issues compared to other platforms. So we were okay with that, but that's why we decided to come with this. Okay, any other question? And I posted the link in a group, so any other question?
no.
Okay, so let me go. We're almost done with this, and then we can have more discussion. Okay, so the next thing is the gala. So the gala was supposed to be December 5th, 2025, because that's what we were hoping. But at this moment, there were 2 locations that we wanted to do it, but unfortunately, those locations have been booked. I mean, I did not know here in Palm Beach County that things fill out so fast. Like they've already filled out until next year, and I'm like, what about? We just started this year, so we have to more likely change the date. So unless we get the location within a week or so, we update that. But as of now, we might end up changing that date to be probably the first 2 or 3 weeks of November. So we're hoping that, but if we can get location that fits 200 people. So we want to have attendees, 200 people. We want to be able to have the online auction. We want to be able to have dinner. We have to have kind of some of the entertainment for that people who are coming to the event. And usually, I mean, if you know the history of the gala, usually the gala is kind of like you're giving summary of what you have been doing, what you're gonna be doing. And for those people who are giving you money, hopefully they know, okay, this is what you have done. If I give you my money, what are you going to be doing in the next 5 years or whatever? So it's something that it's kind of informative, but also it's sometimes, I mean, it's the time that to celebrate that we work so hard for the whole year. Now we're getting at the end of the year, and you're kind of like thanking the donors and the contributors for what they have done for us and enable us to do what we need to do, like volunteering and all the stuff. So it's a big deal. So, and that's why we there is a group of the people who are in the gala. And then, so those are the things that we were trying to work on. So, for example, when we start selling tickets for the gala, so this is just an example there. You can see let's say the couple may pay $180 for two people, and maybe one person can be $100. Maybe people who are getting a table can pay 1,000. So, I mean, there's a few options right now we are going through, and we're gonna come and share with all those updates with you guys once the gala committee come up with the final numbers. Because as I said, those numbers will change, depends on the location. That because everybody wants the gala to be in a nice place so they can go and dress up. They don't want the gala to be something that people just show up or whatever. But of course, anything nice is going to cost us. And that's why we have to increase our ways of doing fundraising and get those corporate sponsors so they can help us cover the costs and hence raise the money to help our organization to do activities. So there's a lot of stuff that is going on right now. As I said, the Gala committee, there's 8 people in that group, and they're working so hard to try and synchronize things so to make sure that we update every members so we can start getting those connection early on. And so as a board member, if you know anybody who is I mean, if a corporation that can benefit or benefit us, there's a lot of stuff that we can do for that organization. For example, we can use their logos and advertise them so that we get advertisement for free. We can use their logos to put in our T-shirt when we work, so then at least like almost like a billboard advertising for them. So there's a lot of things that we have corporate sponsor letters. It's already drafted. We just tweaking here and there for who you're addressing to. But the rest of information is already there. So if you have an institution that we can send that letter, please contact us, and then so we can get you going and then send that letter as soon as we can. So there's a lot of stuff going behind the scene, and more stuff will come, and we will be updating you more regularly because now we have the media team. So media team is going to be responsible for posting all the social media and stuff and keep updating people probably weekly or twice a week, whatever they come up with the plan. And then so we share a lot of information through the group. So so stay tuned. There's a lot of stuff coming. Let me see. And then, of course, how can people help us? I mean, we have 3 ways that still doesn't cost us anything. Is of course, there's some people who wants to send a check, which is fine. And from Zephy, they're telling us if anybody wants to give us the money more than 10,000, usually they encourage you to do the check. I mean, the corporations know that. They're not going to send it through Zephy more than $10,000. But less than that, people have used Zephy to pay, and they claim that it's the secure way and stuff. Venmo still does not charge us anything, so that's why we keep their Cash App charges quite a bit. And then PayPal charges and the GoFundMe charges. So those are the ones that if really people don't want to do these 3 and they insist on doing the other way because they're used to that, but that's fine. We can take those donations through that way. We do have still account of those areas, but these are the ones that we're trying to maximize every single cent in the donation. We want it to go to the organization versus paying the fees. And that's why I didn't put them here. But if somebody says, oh no, I'm used to do through PayPal and that's the only way I can give a donation. Sure, we do have a PayPal account, and if they need, we can share. If somebody wants to do Cash App, we do have a Cash App account. We can still, somebody wants to do Zelle, that's fine. Right now, Zelle, I know they're updating their app, they want to do through bank versus app because of an organization. So there's few things we're figuring out. If they come up and say they don't charge it, then sure, we can use Zelle for that meeting too. And I think for me comes to the discussion now. Okay, so let me stop this. Yes. Any questions, issues that we can share? And as I said, as a board member, there's a lot of stuff that we'll be discussing in this meeting, and it doesn't go to the other meeting just because you're in the leadership group. So for example, so our projection that with the gala and all the fundraising, we are hoping by the end of the year, at least we are raising close to $150,000. So that part, that said, is like tentative in each group, in each program, sorry, as 10,000. So, and then the rest is to try and help do other stuff. Did you pin your picture?
You said pin it?
Yeah, because it's only showing me, only you on the screen. Okay, that's fine.
Oh, I see you.
No, that's fine. Yeah, so we, as I said, we're looking for $150,000. If somebody has a bigger check to write for the organization, that would be great. But in each program, we are hoping that can be covered with $10,000. So meaning like a few things that if we like buying a device and stuff, including, for example, vision, the same thing. So we are hoping that if we get a big chunk of money like that, then we should be able to have our, like the equipment. Even if maybe we have one optometrist here or ophthalmologist here, and then we're going to Tanzania, we can have maybe a double set so we can go and see more people just instead of seeing on a one set of equipment. The same thing for food. If we are able for the children, it's $50,000 to feed them the whole year. So if we get or win lottery for $50,000, we can buy the food for those kids for the whole year. So that is included in there. And then so some of the program like nutrition, not nutrition, sorry, newborn transitioning, yes. So yes, there might be a little clothing and stuff like that, but still we want equipment like resuscitations equipment. CPR, the same thing. We want the whole set of mannequin, 2 or 3 of them, so we can do one of them in healthcare worker and one of them in the community and another one probably in the second hospital. So we want to be able, if we take to Mwananyamala and start teaching there, people who in Mwananyamala can teach it throughout the time versus saying, oh, let me take those equipment, send it to somewhere else. So if you count like 3 sets of mannequin, that's already $3,000 to $4,000. That's just mannequin. We did not put all the accessories and stuff, which can go up to $5,000. Okay, now with the CPR, we need blood pressure cuff and all the stuff. So all those things are adding up. So to have a set complete things for CPR, yes, we say probably $8,000, $9,000 or 10. So that I'm just saying like 10,000, if we put it in there, at least we know we have a good impact because it will be like standalone things that we can do. So with that, the thinking is majority of the time we want people to give us money versus in-kind donation. However, we know there's some people who don't want to give actual money. They want to give things, which is fine. We can receive, because some people think if I buy the blankets, they actually want to buy the blanket to make sure they're going to Tanzania, which is fine. Versus I'm going to give you $100 to do that. Because sometimes, I mean, as I said, there's a lot of behind the thing through the nonprofit organization. People feel like sometimes they give us the money and the money may go somewhere else. So if I give an actual item, so then chances is it's going to be delivered. So which is okay. So then we have to be purposeful when we identify things that we want people to donate. So let's say for thermoregulation, we want the blankets, we want the little diapers, we want the onesies, we want the booties. We have to have that specific. So somebody wants to say, I want to help for thermoregulation. This is our list. Don't go anywhere else. We want the things that we want so they can be helpful. Because if we don't tell them, people buy whatever. They might say, I'm buying I like this little coat. I mean, like a jacket. Tanzania is hot. So the jacket is great, but it's not helping. Yeah, so we have to be purposeful for each group to make sure we advise them to find things that they will be helpful to complete their task. And for
Yeah,
school, then
I'd like
yes.
to. I was gonna say too, I'd like to show the board of directors page, if I can share the screen. That way those who are here can actually see what they look like, and then if they want to add something or take something away. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I am really proud of our board. This is the largest, healthiest,
Active, dedicated,
yeah, and even
self-driven.
for the meeting, right? Usually it'd be maybe two or three of us here. Steve always is around. But I mean, we really have a good team this year. We have a lot of energy and activity, but I want everybody to see it so they can see that, because a lot of times from what I've heard, when you're applying for grants and you're asking companies for money or whatever, or anybody, first place they're going to go to is the board of directors. They'll see what the leadership is like. And when they see our page, they're going to know that we're serious and we've got a lot of different people with a lot of different skills, and we're really talented and really dedicated. So I want to show it to you, so you can see. I think Bree has seen it already, right? But I'll let me share. Hold on. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, can everybody see? All right. Yeah, because I didn't even click on it and it came up for some reason. All right, so there it is. I got to see if Dr. Randall wants to give us a statement. If she doesn't, then that's what it'll be like. So if you notice, we have everybody's credentials. There's Victoria and our prayer warrior. Those are statements that they gave me. Dr. Msambichaka, Valentine is Rukia. Rukia, I took one of your quotes from one day and I put it in there for you. It says, "Dear God, touch the people around me, keep them happy and safe, give them love, compassion, and care. Bless them with good health, peace in mind, and kindness in their heart, especially the one reading this message." So if you want to add something or anything like that, let's let me know. All right, and there's Annie Schneider. Adam helps out with the finances, like with the taxes and stuff like that. Irene, I don't know if you can see this or not, but so this is something that she gave us a while back. And there's Bree, myself, Catherine. We don't have anything for Catherine. And you saw the pictures of the folks from Tanzania. So that's it.
So as a board member, as I said, you can go in there, and if you feel like you need to revise, like Dr. Siakabe just said, let us know, because remember, we're going to try to share as much as we can. And so people are going to be clicking on it. So wherever the message you want to send it out, and that's what we wanted to come out. But yes, I do agree with Dr. Siakabe that we are blessed. And I want to thank Mr. Steve Jones for all the prayers. And I remember the third mission you came and you said, we are praying for quality, not quantity. So that is the blessing that we are receiving now, because we are getting people who wants to work versus just filling off the spot. So definitely my heart is full. I keep saying that, but my heart is full because we are getting people who wants to do stuff. And all these groups that you guys see, they look so many, but people are so busy in their groups that it makes my heart feel so full. Definitely so full. So
Yeah, and there's going to be two meetings that I can think of coming up. One of them is going to be for optometry, and the other one will be for social media. And Steve's going to be involved in each of those. I think even uh, Victoria, you may be involved in the optometry part too. I'm not sure.
she's in school.
Hmm?
School surprise and collaboration.
I know, but the issue was the potential uh
Oh,
a disease that she may have as a result of her illness with her eyes.
In fact,
So
Dr.
we want to
Vanessa
get together and talk
said
about
exactly
that.
the same thing.
And
Yeah.
I was talking to Dr. G about it, and I was like, you know what, we should just go to the group, like in a general meeting, and say who wants to do this and that for the child. But then we realized we're going to go to the vision group first, and we'll allow them to be able to provide whatever blessings or whatever they can, and they get first dibs. So,
Yeah,
but yeah,
and
with
then so what he's talking about is when we went to the medical mission, we saw that little girl who needed glasses, and Mr. Steve Jones helped to walk her and the grandma to the Mwananyamala, and then they did the follow-up. And then after we left there, the communication continues. The child was seen the second time, and then now she has glasses. So since then, we helped paying for the second examination for that child. Now the child was so the grandmother and the child, they are asking us for if we can pay health insurance for the little girl. So we asked Dr. Atu to try and find out the medical insurance for that little girl so she can continue follow up with the doctors and make sure that she is treated. So, and Dr. Vanessa Stenville, she's making two pairs of glasses, the transition lens. So when she goes outside, like it can be protected. Versus buying two glasses, because for the little 5-year-old, what do you think? As soon as she runs, one falls off, then what is she gonna do? So she's making those two pairs for her. Once it's done, then we send over there. So now the challenge to the organization is when we go over there as expertise and then identify the people who are in trouble and we want to follow it up, we have to have funds to support that process. And that hence comes now we're going to have a fundraising spot of just raising the money to buy medical insurance for the people that global volunteers identify over there. So when we go there, let's say like when Dr. Patricia Sharon identify the child with the cardiac issues, and we try to follow it up. So we want to be able, once she diagnose that child, we need to follow it up to make sure that they get the care now. Because once you identify and tell the parents, okay, this child is in trouble, then you need to do something. Last time, Dr. Msambichaka and Dr. Dorothy Waverick, they identified 4 kids who have hearing issues, which since they were little, they never get treatment. So they understand that those kids needed more help. Luckily, the both Dr. Msambichaka and Dr. Waverick went and bought the antibiotics for those kids. And then we left with the health teacher to do the medication for a month and a half, I think. But the problem is there was no follow-up. Like, okay, did it work? Okay, what exactly? So because we didn't have any means. So now we are making a process, which, as I said, the vision group is going to be the lead part on that part. To be able to identify the process. We do have Dr. Atu, who is willing to be the liaison between Qhsc and the other side. We're going to ask Dr. Benera also to be the medical person on that side to make sure that if we identify and say we're going to pay for somebody, then that money goes to the right person versus somebody used for something else. So once we have an established process, then anytime we get the patient like that, it's going to come back to the board and decide, yes, this child or this or that, this mom meet that criteria, then we should be able to support them and give them money for the insurance. So it has to be kind of like a process that we expect. And then we'll be like maybe monthly reviewing how many people are we supporting, are they getting what they want? And if there's an issue like that, Vesas just say, oh, that child needs glasses, $50, sure. And then that needs, it's not going to end because when people realize we're doing that part, we're going to get 100 people requesting support, but we can't afford everybody. But at least we can afford the ones that we, when I said we, means like Qhsc with all the expertise, go over there and identify people who are in trouble and they can't afford it to get the care. Those are the ones we need to be able to take on ownership and be able to say, at least pay for the insurance for the year. So I know when I say that, people are like, "Ooh, how much is it?" So, for example, the last time I knew for a child, insurance for a whole year, I believe was like 50,000 shillings, which is kind of like $23 or whatever. So if, I mean, we ask them to make sure that she get like kind of compulsory, comprehensive insurance. So it might be close to probably $50 for the whole year. So and that's why I said I think we'll be able to do that for that little girl so she doesn't miss school, because she's supposed to go to kindergarten. And then if she can't go to school, then how is she going to be able to read and all the stuff? So if we are able to do that and we start tracking them now, because we to make sure that they're getting what they need at the right time and whatever we need to do that part.
Yeah, I was going to say too, Victoria, I'm not able to articulate it because it's not my area, but the one of the main reasons why we felt like we should get some kind of follow-up medical care for the young lady was the fact that because of her sensitivity to light, you said that she might have been displaying certain traits of is it like some kind of a skin disease or cancer or something like that? Or could you?
Well, they develop a tumor at an early age, starting from like about, I don't know, 4, 5 years old, or something like that. They start developing tumors, and I think one of the um, characteristic signs is that they can't process the sunlight. And so when they start having issues with that, that's one of the indicators to start, you know, looking farther into why she can't process the sunlight. Because sometimes they develop the tumors behind the eye, or they may develop a tumor in the head or on their face. And these are like, I guess, biomarkers to look at to determine if it's gonna go that direction.
Okay, yeah, so that was one of the reasons why we thought so. But so yeah, we'll meet and we'll discuss it. And Dr. Gaboni has already identified, of course, Atungonza, and she'll be willing to help facilitate, which is really key here. We have someone on the other side. You know what? Well, she's not on the board yet, but she's kind of relatively new, but she's very reliable and dependable. But she is part of the team. But we have someone there to facilitate for us. Um, so that's the good part about it. She's willing to help with this specific child and do whatever it is that we need to do to make sure we get her the care that she needs. And I noticed when Dr. Gaboni said the cost of healthcare, Rukia was kind of like trying to calculate that in her mind, and she was like, no, that can't be. So, but we figure we could probably even get her health insurance for a few years, and she
Right?
could go try to get whatever she needs to get. And maybe I don't know if there's any way that we can prevent this or try to mitigate it, but if we could, that would be very good. And of course, it's always good to get the education, because a lot of folks who do have, if you want to call them disabilities or impairments and things like that, sometimes even if they have somewhat of an education, it's better than having that issue, never going to school, and then not being able to do anything, or having trouble just struggling through society when you have all of these gifts and talents now that you could maybe use, to keep yourself going. Like I was at the car dealership the other day and I was paying for my son's car's maintenance, and the lady got up, it was an older lady, and she walked away, and I knew that lady had she had been fortunate enough to get that job, and she was not going to get up that job. She had all kinds of disabilities and problems, and when she was sitting there, you would have never noticed.
That's
Well,
not right. Stop it.
what?
One of my concerns or questions is how many of the I guess patients, or we want to call them, are we planning on doing that for? Is it going to be on an as need basis, or it's going to be, there have to be some kind of criteria involved in saying this is what the need is and this is how we're going to do it.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I'm like, right now we are trying to build up first of all the where we can do the fundraising for specific over that. And as I said, the final decision is going to come to the leadership meeting, which will be this meeting. So the criteria more likely is going to be, yes, when our volunteer expertise go on Tanzania and identify the children that are in trouble or needs help or need care or need whatever the procedures that are needed. Once they vouch that those are the needed, we come and discuss and say what is going on. How much is it? Can we afford it from the funds? And then, so once we agree to that, but then yes, it's not, that's it. Once the people hear that we are giving out health insurance, you see, everybody's going to try to bring themselves in the situation. And we are not going to do that. Only the criteria is like the people who, when you go to the medical mission and you find those situations that like those little 4 kids who needed antibiotic on their ears. Yes, so if we have the funds to help those the children, then yes, we identify those children, and as long as the funds are there, we're able to cover them. And that's why I said we just buy insurance for them for a little girl for a whole year. So throughout the year, the child is going to go to the hospital, then it will be covered, unless maybe she needs surgery or something different. And if it's something too much we can't afford, depending where we cannot afford. But if it's something that is within our ability, then we should be able to cover that part. It's not going to be like all the 500 people we see, no. It's more like this time we want to see this little girl, and I think there was one they saw in the hospital. So it could have been 2 years. I mean, 2 people for this 2024, for example. But yeah, we're going to have the criteria written down, and how do we identify, and our expertise go there and identify kids, yes. And then we'll be discussing through that, okay, we have this child and this, what are the things that can be done, what are the things that cannot be done, even if we have the money, you can't do them. So we have to figure that part out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and as I said, for this one, we're going to use this girl as our template. So we're going to bring this back to the vision group, and then you find the process. And then with that process, then we can try to transfer to every next case, and then try to use that process. Because at least we have, I said, 2 people in Tanzania who will help us. At least we know nobody's going to be doing that to steal our money. At least we know we have 2 doctors who are willing to work with us, so then we should be able to do good. But we use the process that we're doing with the little girl, and then as a benchmark, and then we develop from there.
So is this the new glasses that the little girl got?
Yes, this is the one that we pay for her to get wider in Tanzania, but they're not transitioning. So she has to put the sunglasses when she goes outside.
Okay.
She can use to read inside the house, yes, but when she goes outside, she has to have the sunglasses. The 2 pairs that Dr. Stenve from here, she's making them, or getting somebody else to make for her, are the transitioning ones. So once they are ready, we find a way to get those glasses back home. And then I was telling Dr. Artus that she will have 1 pair, and she will give that little girl 1 pair until that. We're not going to give both of them, because
Yes.
we all know ourselves. So she will know that is only 1 pair coming, that's it. So then she can take care of it. And when emergencies happen and something happens to the glass, then Dr. Artu will share the second one too. And then we take it from there, yeah.
So the glasses were able to help her to see better. She's still blinking, or she's able to see? Is she still like having the blinking with her eyes, or the glasses fix that situation?
So I think the glasses help, but not to fix everything. But so when she's inside the house, she's not straining or trying to, try to wet their eyes to make it moist or something like that. She's not doing that inside the house. So once she gets the other sets, then and start going outside, then we figure out. But that's why we want to get the insurance. So then we can make sure that the ophthalmologist is the one who is assessing her. Because right now, even the person who gave her the glasses was optometrist. Not the person who is figuring out the disease process of the eye and all the stuff, all those indications. Okay. Yes. The person who was doing that was just for screening to see if she can read or can she identify objects and stuff like that, not the disease process of what Mrs. Victoria was talking about. And that's why we need insurance.
Yeah, I think so. She has two issues. Yeah, there's the sunlight one, and then she still does have a need for the vision part too. So she still needs glasses. So the sunlight is what's the issue with that is what's creating problems for her in terms of getting to school and then functioning normally, let's say for the kids going outside and doing whatever they're doing. So that's one thing. And then when she's inside or in the classroom or at home, she also needs glasses too. And as Victoria said, there might even be a much greater issue. We don't even know. So I think yes, so if we can really look a lot further, I think that would be very helpful.
So how old is she?
5.
And how old was she when when they start noticing her having issues?
I think when she was like 3, right, Mr. Steve Jones?
Mm-hmm.
When they started to notice that she couldn't go outside, she can't see outside. And yeah, so I think it's 3 when they're getting a little bit more active. So 3 to 5, and that's where I think it's good.
Yeah, somewhere along in there. It's been happening for a couple of years now, at
Yeah.
least about 2, because she's about 5.
Yes.
So I was told that the children with those um, diseases, their life expectancy is anywhere from 16 to 19 years of age. And like the young man that I observed his surgery, he was
Mhm.
16. He had maybe that was his third surgery, and then he had already had one eye inoculated, and then they
Oh,
did the other
gosh.
one. Yeah,
So and this is the same because I just saw some of those pictures again that you took with some of the folks. Is this the same thing or?
it's the same thing.
Oh God.
His just progressed,
Uh, so-
faster and worse. Mhm.
But anyway, this is the
Well,
video that like 2 days ago when Dr. Atu went and gave her the money and for the screening and the glasses and stuff like that. So this was just like the person in the middle, that's the grandmother. I'm not sure
Mhm.
if you can hear anything else. So she's just thanking people.
I can't hear anything now.
That's fine.
Oh, I can hear slightly.
Mhm.
She's asking for the more glasses.
Mhm.
And then she said, if you can give me the insurance. And then she said, thank you very much. That's okay. We can share that little video. It's only 45 seconds. We can share it in
Mhm.
the group, yeah.
So I'm not clear. Has her situation been diagnosed or no?
It has not been diagnosed.
Oh, okay. Because I'm hearing her say about life expectancy is 13, 15 years. I'm like, wow. I was
Yeah,
like,
it hasn't been formally diagnosed, but Victoria definitely is pretty good at what she does.
yeah.
I mean, she's in another field right now, but she's pretty, like I said, when she was there last time, there was, how many people did you see or deal with? How many, was it? I'm not sure about, because that was at the hospital, so I don't know the circumstances, but I saw, I don't know how many people you took pictures with, but there were quite a few people, that had, it's a disease, I'm
There's a
assuming.
whole oncology, ophthalmology unit,
Mm.
Yeah.
So
and
those
they
are the things
just
that we want to make sure that if she gets the insurance, so then we make sure she's referred to Muhimbi, because that's where you went last time. And then so we can see she can get a proper care. Because right now, she's seen whatever the area that she lives in, and optometrist from Wananyamala is the one who helped at least to get her to that point. So, but they still need more help. But whatever
right.
we did is just a small bandage to try and help her even to go outside to go wherever she needs to get the care now. Because otherwise,
Mhm.
you have to blindfold it to get her to Muhimbili and all the stuff like that. But yeah, so once we are able to start giving her the money and get the insurance information, and then so we can arrange for the child to go to Muhimbili. That's the tertiary center, so they can follow it up.
Yeah, and
Okay, I'm sold. Put me on the team.
the vision team. Okay.
Yay.
And Dr. Gaboni has people in Muhimbili. So even though we have Dr. Bonella advocating for us as well, so we'll have folks advocating for us there. And then once they know that Victoria's on the team, they'll be even more pressed to render aid.
Okay. So any other questions? As a leader, yes, we were one of the areas that to grow the organization is to try and get people to recruit more people. So I know one of the postage in the group was to put at least 5 for the whole year. So recruiting means like to get them to be QHSC member, general members or students, that's fine. 5 for each person to try and get. So if every year we are recruiting 5 each, so chances is the organization is going to grow. That does not mean that we want to stress you out. Saying, okay, what happens if I only get 3? Please, at least 1 definitely will help, but 5 is just kind of like a middle number. And then so we can help. I mean, usually you get what you ask for. So if we ask you for 1, of course, you're going to end up with just 1. But if you ask for 5, you might get 10, which will be great. The more people we get, the better. So we can spread the wings and spread the words and ask for support. And probably they know the right people who can help us, especially for the corporate support.
And I was going to mention too, since we are the leadership team, so you'll see like when we do our annual meetings or kind of like at the end of the year when Dr. Gavoni is given kind of like a summary of everything that went on and everything, and she gives a budget and a breakdown and everything like that. It sounds like we have money, but we don't. So if she says, "Oh, we had $98,000 or something like that," that's everybody's airfare, hotel fees, all the supplies we took there, all the estimates on medical equipment and all this stuff like that. But it's not like we, had, all this money and stuff like that or whatever, believe you me. But that's why we're working this year. We're trying to do a few things because we want to change that. We do want the organization to have some money so that we can focus on the things that the organization wants to do. Because like Dr. Gaboni was saying, if someone wants to give something and they say, well, I just want to do it that way. Well, it doesn't matter to us how you want to do it because we have at least some extra money. But if we're always beholden to people who are not sure whether they trust us with their money and all that stuff like that, then it kind of limits us as to what we can do. Or if it's someone only will work or contribute in a specific area, it doesn't help the organization overall if we decide we want to do something different, or if we want to, plan a gala or something like that, so we don't have any money to do that stuff. So
Speaking of the gala, we invite everybody to come for the gala. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, that reminds me, I still have a ticket.
airline ticket.
Make sure we we need to finalize the dates.
Yeah, and then another thing I was going to say too, you're going to hear or you've heard that we're going in 2026, right? And this is why I say we focus so much on the medical mission that we forget everything else, right? So we think, oh, QHSC medical mission. Yes, we're going to be here in 2025. We're working on fundraising. We're still working with QHSC. So when we talk about sending, care or resources to this young lady, we'll do that in 2025. If we're going to do fundraising, we get money, we're going to feed the children at Minizini. We don't always have to be there. Remember, we have a team that's there. So our mission doesn't stop just because we don't go there one year. But the mindset of most people is, oh, well, they're not going. And then it's like, well, all bets are off. There's nothing going on. But that's not true. So there's still going to be training online with folks at the hospitals and preparation and memorandums of understanding going back and forth between the hospitals and ourselves and everything. So like I've been blessed, to be able to work with my wife on memorandums of understandings with medical institutions and things like that. So it's actually a very good place. Look at Bree's even looking now. She's like, I should have been doing that. But but it's a good place for professional development. It's a good place for experiences, and it's a good place for the camaraderie. So there's a lot of stuff that's going to be going on throughout the year. And then, of course, we're going to have the gala. So, you know, and there's also the local projects. You have cross ministries. There'll be community service projects right there in Southern Florida. Maybe we can get some stuff going some other places too if the opportunity arises. So it doesn't just stop. You know what I mean? So we just have to make sure we keep that mindset and let people know that when they ask. And then think about it, if we don't go this year and we go next year, that means next year is going to be a double banger.
The other
Yes.
thing is, when you
That's
had
me.
part of the things that we are going to be doing also for the fundraising, yes, as you said, Dr. Siakabe, you said you can still do the fundraising in other state. So that should not stop you from doing it. If you have an event, for example, let's say you want to do a dinner or you want to have a walk in your state, and God give us the health, and then we can show up and support you. But there's other ways that we can arrange things that and support, even if from far away or people around there, we can recruit people to come for your event. So even if you are in Texas, you can still do things in Texas, still support the QHSC. If we need to do like a little event, and if we need to for us to support the event, links or advertise, yeah, we can do those things. So it's not only, you don't have to be only in Florida. But however, for the gala, we would like to have as many people as we can. So when we start selling the tickets, please get yours quickly.
We know you're preaching to the choir, so.
I know. We want to see everybody so we can come and celebrate. But anyway, any other questions? I don't want to take too much time, guys.
Yes, I have a question. So
Yes.
when will the tickets be
That's my
available
question.
for the gala? Because you said that you don't have the date yet, right?
So we originally have December 5th because we were anticipating 2 areas that we are going to get it. But unfortunate, by yesterday or day before, the person who was working on it said, the respondent said, no, those dates were taken. So we have to move a different date. So that's why we're thinking either November 1st, 8, or 15. We're trying to figure out November, huh?
Yeah, November 1st, 8th, or the 22nd. And then tentative also
15.
December. Oh, I had the 22nd. I'm sorry. I thought we said up until right before Thanksgiving.
Okay, then it'll be 4 weeks then. Because
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
maybe
And then
1, 8, 15, and 22nd then. So
and
one
then
of those
December,
dates, yeah.
yeah, and then December 5th still plays in if we're looking at newer locations.
Yes, yes. So once the only reason right now we can't release the date and we cannot release the ticket sale is because we want to make sure we secure. Once we get the location now and pay deposit, then it's going to be all over the place. And ticket is going to be coming more like February, March. That's the time we're going to release because we want people to pay quickly before they spend all their money for something else. And then we are hoping that wherever we are, have the location, and then maybe a hotel close by, we can talk to people here and try and see if we can have a group rate. So then we advertise those areas so people will be able to manage their travel arrangement. And then, but yeah, so right now, because the price of the location, we determine how much individual ticket will be. And then, so that's why we are staying map. We're thinking 100, maybe 150, but it depends. Because if you want the nice places, well, You cannot just say, okay, I want to pay $20 and then you want a fancy place. It doesn't go that way. So that's what we're trying to see. We don't want to get to 200. That's too high. No. I mean, eventually, after 10 years, sure. If we want to raise $1 million, yes. But right now, we're starting slow. But I know God will give us, will get us there, and next time it's going to be better. So, but today we're going to start with $150,000. That's what we're hoping to raise.
I personally have never done a fundraiser. So any suggestions and support on how to do that, I'm here for it.
We got you. And a matter of fact, we already have a certain amount of them already lined up. So because Bree actually did how many did you do at the California Kitchen last year?
2.
She did 2 last year. So, but the California Kitchen, I think it's limited to, or you have to have people in each state to do it. I'm not sure, but you can't do it nationally. I think we have 2 now. There was a restaurant, and then also there's another one called something for good. It's so, my kids grew up playing basketball, and they do these fundraisers. His basketball team last year, not this year, they did one this year, but they only made like maybe like $1,700 or something like that or whatever. But I think last year was like $5,000-$6,000. So it's popcorn, and you can send it, like I send it to my grandchildren. Dr. Gaboni sent it to her nieces. Bree tried it. Everybody loves the popcorn. It's a little expensive. I think you get half, they get half or whatever. But if you get enough people to do it, they actually can make some money. So that's one. So I'm going to work with you. We'll work together on that one, Rukia, and then we'll do the restaurant one as well. I can't remember the name of the restaurant, but there's one where you can do it nationally. So you can say, okay, I know Chipotle, you can't do it nationally, but let's say, for example, if it was, you'd say, okay, everybody, today is going to be our celebration, or we're going to do a fundraiser today. So now we tell everybody. Before it was just people in West Palm Beach, and if they could make it out to the restaurant, they could. But now it'll be people West Palm Beach, New York, Texas, Georgia, because I'm in Georgia now. So we get some folks to go to Georgia, and Georgia to go out, Virginia, places like that. We can get people to come out and support us. We'll push it, but we're going to push it. And so another thing too is I have to share with everyone the logo. So this is the new logo. I don't think we've really discussed it with everyone. I know you've probably seen it around, but we did come up with a much more simplistic logo, but it still sends the same message. And one of the reasons is because we do want it to become something that's ingrained in people's memory. So we're actually trying to use marketing techniques now. We want to use media techniques and all that stuff. So if you're looking, you're like, oh, they look like they're crazy. They all got the same logo. Yeah, we do, because we want to eventually have meetings where we're pitching the organization to people, and we want to look as professional as possible. So I will send everyone both of these logos. So what I did was I just used AI. I asked for a picture in an office setting, and then I just put the logos on each picture to see which one I thought looked the best, and that's the one that I made. So you could probably do something similar. So if we're in a meeting, let's say Rukia comes and she says, I have a friend and they're interested. Well, we're going to talk to them, but we're not going to just talk to them about the mission. We're going to talk to them about membership. We're going to talk to them about fundraising. We're going to talk to them about donations. We're going to be pitching all of that stuff in that meeting. And so we're going to come to them with that professional attitude. And we want for everyone when we're in that meeting to present that same image. So I'll send it to you. And if you want, Rukia, you could use this one, or I could try to make a different one for you. But I mean, I don't know how it would look if everybody has the same one. I mean, right now it looks okay because I can see.
I like the one Bree has too.
So Bree can send you that one.
I was trying to figure out how to ask her, but my technical skills, I'm working on them, y'all. They're getting better all the time. So y'all have to be patient with me, because I want to learn. So I'm here to learn it all.
I struggle every day with that. I'm working with a lot of young people now, and we walk around with laptops and what do you call, well, you just call them tablets, right? iPads or whatever. I don't know what they call iPad. Yeah, iPads. Yeah, and so like, I'm like, forget this. I just need my laptop. I can't deal with this iPad thing or whatever. So I'm working with younger people and it's all technology. So it's
Okay. So any other questions that we have? As I said, once I do have probably so far I have maybe 9 links for individual groups. And then so once we start sending stuff probably within this week and next week, because the general meeting is on the 25th, I believe. Yes, 25th. So before then, I want to make sure I release the video for all the leadership so they know who the leadership are going to be for this year. I will definitely make sure finish up the application for the article of incorporation, means to apply on Sunbiz to say, oh, these are the leaders for this organization, because every year you have to publicize who is in the membership and who is in the leadership in that organization. Advantage of putting your name in there is because once you are asking or requesting money that is going to be tax deductible, you have to be in the board or leadership of the non-profit organization. And that's why we want to make sure your name is in there. So when you're requesting or sending these letters to this organization, so they can do tax deductible, they want the name to be in there because they will pull that article of incorporation from the website. They're not going even to ask me, they're going to pull themselves because they want to make sure is this legit organization. So if it's registered active, who are the members in there? So they will find out to see. If your name is not there, you see quickly, they'll be like, okay, no, we can't do, because they know they're not going to get anything to get a tax deductible unless your name is on the article of incorporation. And that's why the IRS use that form too. So that's why I said I have to update that as quick as we can. And then if you need to write those letters, definitely. So within this week to next week before the meeting, so there'll be a lot of activity going on. The links of all these groups are going to be posted in individual groups. So we don't have to post like 25 links in the and the Qhsc group. Is going to be on the individual groups. But if there's something that you feel like from your group, you feel like you have to share, sure. And all of the board members are going to be the admin for the Qhsc group. So if there's something specific from your group you want to share in the Qhsc, you don't have to wait for me, Bree, or Dr. Siakabe. So you can be able to post it in there as long as it's satisfy the think that you support the Qhsc. So I said, I'm going to hope or expect you guys to be as active as you can to the group versus just being passive members. Okay. Anything else?
Okay.
I know who's now on the iPhone, I think is Kisa Makalinga. Thank you for coming. Mrs. Irene, thank you for coming too. I know you're quiet back there hiding. But Mr. Steve Jones, thank you. Ms. Rukia, thank you for coming.
they're in the
This
ER, so
was helpful.
they can't really. They said they're in the ER, so they can't talk.
No, I'm here. Yeah.
Any feedback, any questions? You've been advisor from the whole beginning. Anything you want
Well,
to say?
I don't have any questions yet, but I like all the plans you've been talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, so it sounds good, and I think it's gonna be like many people and more members getting more involved in the organization, which is a good thing.
Agreed. Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Anybody else want to share? Then we can. Miss Kisa, do you have anything? I know she said her audio doesn't work or something. Do you have anything to say, or if you send me a message, then I can read it or no? Is it okay? You're good? Bree?
Nada.
Okay. Victoria? You're good? Mr. Steve Jones?
I'm good.
Okay. Dr. B?
No, I'm excited to know that Steve is going to give us one more of his excellent
Prayer.
prayers. And Qhsc Mwakalinga, I've been able to say that word now for 5 years now. Qhsc Mwakalinga. It says sorry, nice, but it sounds good. Sorry, noise. I'm not sure, something like that. But she said sorry, and
Oh,
it
it's
sounds
noise.
good.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Steve Jones, if you can bless us with the prayer, and then I will let you guys go.
Dear Heavenly Father, God, our King, we just want to thank you, Lord, for just your love, your kindness, and your tender mercy. God, we want to thank you, God, for this meeting with QHSC today, God. We ask you to bless all the hearers of the word that went out. Bless us to be doers of the word, oh God, and that we can bring QHSC where you want it to be, oh God. God, we need donations, oh God. We need donors, oh God. We need volunteers, oh God, to make this program a truly, truly successful, oh God, because we are actually doing ministry, God. We're going out and helping those, oh God, that are in need, oh God. Those who may be in the hospitals or in schools who may not can afford, God, just simple items of pencil and paper, oh God. Those who might not can afford just to live even at their school, oh God, and even in the hospital, oh God, just simply teaching CPR that could save someone else's life. Just prolong it, oh God. We just want to thank you, God. Give us those people who are designated to be here, God. Give us those people who have a mind, oh God, to work, oh God, and a mind to do, to volunteer, oh God, and to be dedicated, oh God. Quality people, oh God, who love what they do and have a mind to help others. God, we ask you right now, even for the gala, oh God, give us what we need. Oh God, hold nothing back, oh God. Bring forth your mercy, oh God, and also bring the money. This we ask in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I
Thank you.
mean,
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Amen and amen.
Yes, happy 5th anniversary and happy new year, and thank you for coming.
Yes. Good night.
Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.
uh,
HS